Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. Good to see you today. If you're here, say hi. If you are watching the replay, type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber. And so today let's talk about how and why others try to hold you back from success. You know, it's kind of sad, but it's a fact of life. And the more successful you are, the more you'll run into this. But when you're trying to change your life, there's going to be people out there that feel like they need to get in your way. A few of them might actually believe that they're trying to help you, but the truth is they're not. And you know, Richard and I laughingly call this the crab syndrome. Maybe we laugh because sometimes it's just better to deal with it that way. But this is a story, another one by Jim Rohn, and I'm sure there's other people that have told it. But you know, if you're a crabber and you're out getting crab out of the water, you're fishing for crab, I guess you would call it. What they do is they throw them in a big 5-gallon bucket. They just throw the crabs in the big 5-gallon bucket. And if you watch the crabs, they'll climb over each other and they'll start climbing over each other and try to get to the top. But you don't ever have to worry about them getting out of the bucket, because as soon as one gets close to the top, another crab will grab him and pull him down. And it's just an amazing thing, but it happens. And you know what? Humans seem to do the same thing. It's really sad, but they do. They seem to do that. And I don't know why. I mean, I guess really people just want you to stay the way they are, the way you are, because that way they can feel comfortable about not improving themselves too. And you know, I know it's frustrating when people aren't on your side, and but what we run into it all the time, and it's something that we need to manage if we want to be successful. So, you know, some of the ways that they might try to derail your success, and it's not always on purpose. So a lot of times it's subconscious, or they don't realize they're doing it, but they might point out your past failures. So, you know, we've all had a million failures in our life, right? We all failed many, many times. And so sometimes people in our lives will bring that up and say, and bring up all those failures in an attempt to sabotage our efforts. So like, for instance, say you decided you're going to be a mountain climber. You love mountain climbing and you want to climb all the 14,000 plus foot mountains in the US, right? Well, a friend might remind you that you couldn't even climb 2,000 foot when you were in summer camp. I mean, they might even suggest that you come up with a more reasonable goal. And it's the same thing. I mean, you know, even in our businesses or whatever it is that we're doing, they may remind us about maybe a time when we weren't so successful. And, you know, things were different then, though. I mean, so it's not even a valid thing. Because we failed before, it doesn't mean we're going to fail this time, right? They might try to make you feel guilty. So guilt's another weapon, you know. Sticking with the mountain climbing theme, what if they told you that travel is expensive, that, you know, you can't afford to go traipsing all over the world to go to these mountains? And, you know, maybe you should be told, or maybe you might be told that you should be saving money for your children's education fund, or maybe that you should spend more time with your family, or maybe they might try to distract you altogether. They might say, hey, forget about the mountains. Let's go on a big vacation together instead. So let's go to Disneyland or something. So those are just a few of the less devious ways that, you know, some people might try to sabotage your efforts. But why would they do that in the first place, right? It just doesn't seem kind. It doesn't seem supportive. And it's not. It's absolutely not. Though they're going to try to present it like they are being supportive. But, you know, there are lots of reasons why people do this. And I think if we just know this, it's helpful. I think it's helpful because it's part of, like I said, if you're on the road to success, you're going to run into this. So if you know about it ahead of time and you're expecting it, you know what to expect, you can handle it. So, you know, there's several reasons why people might try to sabotage your efforts. So they want to stay comfortable with their mediocrity. That seems like that's the biggest one. That's the one that seems to happen the most. If you do something amazing, then they have to deal with the fact that they haven't, right? That no one wants to feel like they're losing the game of life. So rather than deal with their own fear, insecurity, and laziness, it's just easier and less work to hold you back. And again, this could be subconscious. Jealousy, I see that a lot. So while there's some people that are genuinely happy to see you achieve something great, you know, maybe win the lottery or lose 50 pounds. I mean, there are people that are genuinely happy for us, but I think there's more people that are jealous. They'll try to stop you from being successful, And if that doesn't work, they might even attempt to diminish the value of your success. So they might say something to you like, oh, if I had all your free time, I could easily lose 50 pounds too. That's kind of hurtful, isn't it? But it's things we hear all the time. Another reason, people don't like change. And a lot of people don't like change. That's really common. We all struggle with that, every one of us. And, everyone is getting something from you. Believe it or not, every relationship has a win-win for both people, because if they got nothing out of their relationship with you, they wouldn't have a relationship with you. And it goes both ways, right? That's what a relationship is we're going like this, and we're helping each other. We're giving and giving back and forth, and it's usually good for both of us. So they're getting something out of it. And if you change, it might threaten the status quo. They might be afraid that if you become successful, what's going to happen to them? Are you going to not be their friend anymore? Or, what's going to happen to them? So it's psychologically, it's just easier for them if you stay the same. So what's the solution? Well, the solution really comes back to you. It really comes back to you doing what's right for you. So it's commit to being successful in spite of objections of others. You might want to consider removing the worst offenders from your life. I mean, if they're doing this to you all the time, maybe they're not beneficial in your life, and you might want to think about that. Life is hard enough without having your own friends and family trying to make it even harder, right? Commit to your goals for the right reason. Your reason should be for you, for what you want, not to impress somebody else, because that's kind of shallow. If you're just doing something because you want to impress people, that's a shallow reason, and it's not even probably this. Maybe just kind of keep it to yourself a little bit more. You'll get less resistance. So bottom line, though, it's your life. It is absolutely your life. So choose what's best for you and your life and do it. Go for it. You don't need the approval of anybody else. Just do it. Just do you. And the crabs are going to be out there. They're just going to be out there. So just know that and ignore it and move on and just do it for you, because hey, Caroline, good to be here again, 2 days in a row. Anyway, that's what I have. So anyway, what are your thoughts? I would love to hear what you think about this and how you deal with it when someone's trying to hold you back, because it all happens to all of us, and I'm sure you might even have some ideas I don't. So get below and share it in the comments, and I'd love to read them. I'd love to hear them, and it would probably be helpful to other people too. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Thanks for being here today. Good to see you, Caroline, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.